Nation observing a National Mourning Day in befitting manner. PAM says homage at Bangabandhu. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina is struggling to materialize Bangabandhu's dream, said Obaidul Qadir. Farad Chowkbazar police recovered 6 bodies. Polythene factory has no safety measures. People across the country are observing the National Mourning Day, the darkest chapter of the history of independent Bangladesh, on Monday in a befitting manner. The government, various socio-cultural, political and professional organizations, including ruling Awami League and its associate bodies, chalked out programs to observe the day. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina paid homage to the nation's independence hero by placing wreath at the portrait of Bangabandhu. The Prime Minister placed wreath at Bangabandhu's portrait at 6:30 a.m. in front of the Bangabandhu Memorial Museum at 32 in Dhanmondi. After placing wreath, she stood in solemn silence there for some time, showing respect to the great leader and the architect of Bangladesh independence in 1971. A smartly turned out contingent of Bangladesh Armed Forces presented states salute while the battle played a last post in the remembrance of Bangabandhu. A munajat was offered seeking the eternal peace of the departed soul of the August 15 carnage. From Dharmondi, the Prime Minister went to Banani graveyard where her mother Bangamata became Fuzilatun-Nisa Mujib, brothers Sheikh Kamal, Sheikh Jamal and Sheikh Russell and other martyrs of August 15 were laid to the eternal rest. The Prime Minister placed wreath and sprayed petals on the grave. She also offered Fatiha and Dua Mahfil seeking the eternal peace of the departed soul of the martyrs of August 15. Bangabandhu and most of his family members were assassinated on August 15, 1975 by the group of misguided army personnel. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina has paid tribute to Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman at his final resting place in Tungipara on his death anniversary. After arriving in Gopalganj around 11 a.m. on Monday, Hasina placed a wreath on Bangabandhu's grave and observed a moment of silence as an army contingent have a guard of honor. Later on, the Prime Minister offered prayers at her father's grave. The head of the government then laid another wreath on behalf of the ruling Awami League alongside the senior party leaders. Hasina also attended a special prayer service at the father of the nation's mausoleum. Awami League General Secretary and Road Transport and Bridges Minister Obaidul Qadir on Monday said that Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina is struggling to fulfill the dream of father of the nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. The ruling party leader made the remark after paying homage to the grave of the martyrs August 15, 1975 at Banani Graveyard here this morning, marking the National Mourning Day. Qadir also said the Awami League will remain in people's heart for decade after decade for leading the struggle of independence and liberation of the country. Visiting UN High Commissioner for Human Rights, Michelle Bachelet, paid the homage of the father of the nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, at Bangabandhu Memorial Museum on Monday. State Minister for Foreign Affairs, Mohammad Shahriar Alam, received her at Dhanmondi Butrish. The Human Rights Chief placed the wreath at the portrait of Bangabandhu and signed visitors' book there. She also took a tour of the whole museum and was briefed by the State Minister. Bachelet is scheduled to meet Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina on Wednesday morning. She held meetings with the cabinet members of the government, including the Foreign Minister A.K. Abdul Momen, on Sunday. Police have recovered 6 bodies from a fire at a polythene factory in Old Dhaka Chowkbazar. The bodies were found in a sleeping area on the factory. The fire that broke out at a polythene factory in the capital's Chowkbazar area on Monday at 12 p.m. Being informed, 10 firefighters unit rushed to the spot and brought the blaze under the control at 2:30 p.m. The reason behind the fire could not be known immediately. Lieutenant Colonel Zilur Rahman, Director Operation of the Fire Service and Civil Defense, told the reporters on the spot that they were fighting the fire. They would also able to say after the investigation whether their factories have any authorization to operate here. Fair officials say that the factory has no minimum fire safety measures. Train operations to the north and west of the country have resumed 11 hours after a train compartment veered off the track in the Dhirastram area of Gazipur city. Services resumed at 8:15 a.m. on Monday, said the Rizal Islam station master of the Jaidapur junctions earlier on Sunday night, after the Panchagor-bound Dhirastram express train from the Dhaka reached the Dhirastram at 9:15 p.m. One compartment of the train overturned and 3 also derailed. As a result, rail communications were suspended between Dhaka and Northern District. Following the accident, the railway police officers from the Shodor Metro Police Station and Jaidapur Fire Service personnel rushed to the spot and started rescuing the passengers. Later on, at around 12:30 p.m., a train from the Dhaka arrived and started rescue from the operations. The government has appointed new managing directors to the 3 state-owned banks, Sonali, Agroni and Rupali. The Financial Institutions Division under the Ministry of Finance issued 3 separate circulars announcing the appointment on Sunday. Afzal Karim, Managing Director of the Bangladesh House Building Finance Corporation, has been appointed as the Chief Executive Officer, CEO and Managing Director of the Sonali Bank for the next 3 years. The Murshidul Kabir, Deputy Managing Director of the Sonali Bank, has been made the CEO and MD of Agrani Bank, and Rupali Bank's Deputy Managing Director of Muhammad Jahangir has been promoted to the post of the Managing Director for the 3-year term. After the Afzal Karim replaced Sonali Bank MD Atar Rahman Pradhan, Murshidul Karim replaced Shamsul Islam, and Muhammad Jahangir replaced Obaidul Al Masood. Viewers, we're taking a short break. Stay with us. Welcome back, and you are watching SATV News. Now, news from abroad. India will aim to become a developed nation within 25 years, Prime Minister Narendra Modi said in a National Day address on Monday, with policies to support domestic production in power, defense and digital technology. Speaking from the 17th century of the Red Fort in the Delhi as India celebrates its 75th year of the independence from the British colonial rule, Modi exhorted youth to aim big and give their best years for the cause of the country. We must turn India into a developed country in the next 25 years in our lifetime, said the 71-year-old Modi, wearing the turban in the colors of the Indian flag in his 75-minute speech in the Hindi. China's military said it carried out more exercises near Taiwan on Monday as a group of U.S. lawmakers visited the Chinese-claimed island and met President Tsai Ing-wen in what Beijing said was an infringement of its sovereignty. The 5 U.S. lawmakers led by the Senator Eddie Markey arrived in Taipei on the unannounced visit late on Sunday, the second high-level group to the visit following that the U.S. House of the Representatives Speaker Nancy Pelosi in early August, which set off the several days of the Chinese War Games. The Chinese military unit responsible for the area adjacent to the Taiwan, the People's Liberation Army Eastern Theater Command, said it has organized the multi-service joint combat readiness patrol and combat drills in the sea and spires around the Taiwan on Monday. The exercises were stark different to the United States and Taiwan continuing to play political tricks and the undermine peace and stability across the Taiwan strait, it also added. The USA, UK, Canada, Japan, European Union and countries of G7 are out of slab ban on the import of the Russian gold to cripple its economically to rationalize and the Moscow military invasion on Ukraine. Feasibility of the move aftermath is being discussed right now with the possibility for the formal announcement this week. It was also said the Russian gold can be easily identified for carrying origin and manufacturing date. Last month, a proposal was made to the G7 summit in its regard. Before going to the vote on the issue, the USA, UK, Canada and Japan are reportedly assessing the prospect of the ban. The above development is supported by a report of the Al Jazeera that the proposal was first mooted at the G7 summit at the Bravia last month, but the fine print is being finalized by the US and allies. The risk of disaster at the Europe's largest nuclear plant is increasing every day. The mayor of the city where it is located told to the Sunday after Ukraine and Russia exchanged blame for the fresh shelling around the facility. The Zaporizhzhia, a plant of the southeastern Ukraine, has been occupied by the Russian forces since the March, and the Kiev has accused Moscow of basing hundreds of soldiers of storing arms there. The facility has come under fire repeatedly in the past week, raising the specter of the nuclear catastrophe. What is happening there is outright the nuclear terrorism, and it can be unpredictably at any moment, said the Dmitry Orlov, the mayor of the Irgoda city where the plant is based. Before ending, we go through the SATV News headlines again. Nation is observing National Mourning Day in befitting manner. Prime Minister pays homage to the Bangabandhu. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina struggling to materialize Bangabandhu's dream, said Obaidul Qadir. Fire at Chowk Bazar. Police recovered 6 bodies. Polythene factory has no safety measures. There are top stories so far here on SATV, and to know the latest news, visit www.satv.tv. Stay with SATV.